So I'll say number one is, and I think something about my career overall is I've always given out free stuff.
Mm.
What do I mean by that? I find someone who I want to be like, who I think I can learn from, and then I just give. So I
Right.
used to, and what do I mean by this? So I used to ask people, like people I actually mentor right now, tell them, how do you actually approach a mentor? Most people tell them, you tell me that, oh, I find this person I like. I tell them that I like what they're doing. Can they mentor me?
Mm.
Now, my follow-up question to that is usually, how many people do you think tell them this every day?
It's true.
How many of these requests do you think they get?
Hmm.
And I would tell them that the approach I use is to tell them, oh, I've seen what you're doing. I've read up on this, this, and this. I think this can be done better this way. I would like to like sit down with you to run some of these ideas I have with you around how you can build your business or build yourself, whatever this person is building. And honestly, I've gotten serious relationships just from
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
these are things I never asked them to pay for. But I remember back in school, there was somebody who I told, I would help them clean up their data set because that was what they used to focus on. I never knew how to use Excel at the time, but I was like, okay, I would learn it, and I would do it. So they gave me a timeline. I did the work. It was messy, but guess what? What was important to this person was the fact that somebody actually came to say, "I want to help you."
Yeah.
There's this lyrics from Burna Boy, which is Dangote still they find money, which basically is Dangote is still looking for money. So no matter how rich or powerful someone is, there's still more that they're trying to achieve.
Right.
And if you go with the approach of how can I actually add value to this person,
Yeah. Yeah.
obviously try to make sure that you're not being used, which is also a bit more calculative,
Yeah.
but focus on adding value. I think for me, that's like one of the groundbreaking things I've ever done in my life.
Mm.
Um, one thing I usually tell people generally is as much as I've had all these roles, most of them were based on recommendation.
Mm.
All the roles in my life were all based on recommendation. So it
Right.
comes from a place of giving. What have you
Yeah.
given for yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I can relate to all of that because even with my own mentors, um, the approach has been very, very similar. It's like, not be my mentor, not take, 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 but what can I give? How can I help? And then fundamentally, it's just understanding that, it's a relationship, right? You should treat your mentor as if you're treating them like a friend, right? If you're trying to make friends with someone, you're not, you're trying to help them out, you're trying to be beneficial, you're trying to be positive, and it's not, you're sort of trying to suck things away from that particular individual. Um, but I think, yeah, fundamentally, it's just about like, how do you bring value to people? How do you help people? And that's literally like the main key thing when it comes to building relationships.